Okay. What is happening, you beautiful human beings, guys? I'm in super relaxed mode. Yes, I'm just chilling today, spending time in the markets, enjoying the markets. We're about to have an amazing session this afternoon. Show us some love in the comments. I can see Fabian in the comments. I can see Stilo V. Beautiful stuff. I can see Rishmi. I can see Gabs. I can see Heinrich, Ruan, Karen, and Alverno in the comments. Beautiful stuff. So Stilo V, the link is in the Telegram group. If you have a look at the pinned messages, guys, and I can see you absolutely dominating. I can already see there's somebody who's taken their $50 straight up to, I believe it's about 5,000 Rand just on their no deposit bonus. You guys are absolutely killing it, having a ton of fun in the markets. Listen, guys, this is what we do. I am so happy and so excited to be back live and streaming with every single one of you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the comments. Again, pinned message in the group. You guys can go and have a look there. Stilo V, I will drop the message. It's super simple. Just follow the link in my group. Well, actually, can you drop the link for us? This beautiful martial bot will do. She'll drop the link right here. Open an account. You'll see there's a no deposit bonus. They give you $50. Whatever you trade with and make profit, that is your profit to withdraw to do with whatever it is that you want. Just a massive thank you to HFM for making that possible and listening to their clients. Guys, listen, we have a very interesting show for this afternoon. There's quite a few things I want to talk about, and I would like to talk about a couple things. As I promised you this morning, I was going to dive deep into the dollar index and just dissect a little bit about what is happening with this debt ceiling, this debt deficit, this little bit of a debate that's busy happening. So let me share my screen. I want to show you guys what's happening really quickly. Okay, so really quickly, recap, right? The US is sitting in a debt deficit. There's a definitive ceiling that essentially if they reach that ceiling, they're not able to service their debts. It's a hard ceiling. They aren't able to create more debt. How do they create more debt? By just printing more money. If you guys don't know the concept, then please go into the Telegram group link. One of the pinned messages is my full quantum growth markets program. If you want to understand the history of money, where it came from, how did we get to the point where money is just printed, it will blow your mind. Go and read up, have a look at that. The whole course is free. It's about 8 hours of me teaching you just like this, everything you need to know in the market and so much more. In any event, it all comes down to printing money, which has created the ceiling. Now, I've been thinking about this and I've been wondering, okay, what is the situation with the dollar index, right? How is the dollar index doing in relation to this debt ceiling? So I've jumped in a little bit deeper and I want to show you guys something crazy. So let's jump in and let's have a look. So right here, we've got the dollar index behind me. Again, if you want to find the dollar index on your setup, just simply go in there and just obviously change it out to open up your market watch, Control M, right? And it'll open up on your screen an area over here. You just simply, if you, depending on obviously which broker you're with, if you're with HFM, right click, show all, right there, just above my head, just over there. And you want to navigate down to USD index. All right, really quickly. So how has the dollar index been responding to this debt deficit or the ceiling, this issue, right? You would assume market's going to be panicking. You would assume the dollar is going to be in huge turmoil, huge trouble. Well, has it? No, it has not, right? Again, it's one of those things where you assume it's a bad thing. You see CPI, right? There's inflation. Inflation's rampant. It's bad. What happens? Dollar rallies. Gold suffers, stock market suffers. So stock markets have been suffering, yet dollar has been rallying. So I want to just draw to your attention the fact that we've got this diagonal over here. I do believe it may play a factor into being a potential resistance that I do want to make everybody just aware of this afternoon. However, if you guys remember our analysis when we looked at the US 30, which I'm going to bring up right now, you'll remember we spoke about this morning, potentially the fact that we're sitting on this triple bottom and we could see some sort of recovery around this region, right? However, I want to show you guys something quite crazy, right? If we have a look at the bigger picture, let's go to maybe a 4 hour on the dollar index, on US 30. This is Dow Jones, otherwise known as US 30. We've got this diagonal resistance level, or now support level, and we were isolating just that moment in time right there that we were looking at where would we find ourselves a bit of support here. Now, looking at the past, look how many times we've projected straight through it. And if you look at this whole deficit and this whole issue, right, again, there was a discussion and there was some news that came out that no talks have been planned on further discussions. They basically reached an impasse, right? They're not having any sort of agreement on the ceiling. Are they going to lift it? Are they going to change it? What are they going to end up doing? There's no agreement there, right? So again, this is going to potentially be a fear-based move this afternoon. But what I'm looking for on USD is I'm potentially looking for, do we see that initial spike towards the downside? And if we do, I want to chase that spike, right? As we spoke about in previous sessions, or at least earlier in the week, about that strategy of essentially just chasing the original move and then allowing the move to reveal itself at 4 o'clock. This afternoon, I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to chase the spike, right? So if we see a spike down, I've prepared some sell stops just below me, just below here, right? So I've got some sell stops south of the US30's position, and I'm simply looking at, this is a 4-hour time frame, support 1, 2, and 3, triple bottom. We're technically below it, and I'm looking at price potentially failing. In addition to that, right, I've also earlier on entered into a sell on gold, right, for a couple reasons. Stronger dollar means weaker gold. If, right, there's a bit of a scare crisis, what happens when the markets are fearful? What happens when the markets are scared? Everybody rushes to gold, right? Safe haven currency, that's where that's going to happen. But in these particular cases where the dollar gets stronger and the dollar is the main factor, what happens? Gold suffers in its movement there. So price of gold potentially going to fall this afternoon. So I'm holding a short already on gold. Again, guys, if you haven't already, get your account funded. Link is in the Telegram group. Once your account is funded, you at least have $100 in that account. We'll get you into that Premium Plus group. Premium Plus group is going to be epic from next week. We're going to be sending all trades, all setups, stop losses, TPs. As I take them, you will be getting them delivered straight into your inbox. The team is also busy building a DVDM markets bot, which is going to be super easy to interact with. You can speak with the bot, give your MT4 number, MT5 number. It will go check, do you have an account? If you do, it'll give you a link and access into the group if that is what you would like to do. So for this afternoon, I'm potentially going to add to my short positions as we enter the New York Stock Exchange, should we see that initial push towards the downside. In addition to that, I've also been looking at US 100, and I don't know how I missed this morning, and I do apologize, but looking at US 100 on an hourly time frame, let me maybe switch to a 4-hour, it may be a little bit clearer. We started to break a major level at around about 10 o'clock this morning. So just after the show ended, we smashed through quite a substantial level. Now that for me is quite worrying, specifically on the US 100, that there's a bunch of fear in this market that hasn't fully translated yet onto the US 30, right? US 30 is still holding fairly firm onto its level of support here. So I'm thinking that when the US markets open, or specifically the New York Stock Exchange opens up in the next, how many minutes now? In the next 7 or so minutes, exactly 6 minutes and 10 seconds, that we might see a massive impulse towards that downside. We might even get it sooner than that, but that is essentially what I'm looking at this afternoon. And if we're going to get that momentum towards downside. But this is the part where I want to know from you, what are you looking at? What are you trading? I spoke about, and I just want to rewind and just go a little bit back and just see how many of you guys remember this morning. I spoke about a potential gold trade. I just want to open up here. I think there it was over there, right? So this morning, gold was sitting in this movement here. This was this morning's broadcast. We're sitting right here, and I explained to you that gold is sitting in this little bit of a retracement or consolidation, and generally it wasn't consolidating up, readying itself for a break towards the downside, right? In most cases, you want to see it retrace up, and then you'll get a continuation towards the downside. We did not see that. We saw gold hovering around this position, and I mentioned that $1,973, $1,973 to an ounce of gold would be the breaking point. A few of you sent me screenshots of you buying that breakout on gold. If you bought and held that breakout on gold, you would have been smiling astronomically over the course of the day. So that breakout was essential, and we're going to start to take advantage of those key breakouts early in the morning that we can potentially hold throughout the course of the day. Now, we are looking for a couple market structures here this afternoon. Gold is obviously trending quite nicely to the downside. I don't like this overextension to the downside here. It means there's a little bit of an imbalance from a market structure perspective. In addition to that, we are going to encounter some sort of level of diagonal support here. I just want to draw out where that may end up being. There may also be a decent amount of support right there on gold. which is where we might be facing. So again, the second New York Stock Exchange opens up in the next 4 minutes and 9 seconds or so, we want to look at that first impulse, and we are going to chase that first impulse. So if I see an impulse to the top side, again, usually you guys know I wait for that first minute candle to just reveal itself, so we don't get too much volume, just too much sideways movement. If we get that first minute, it gives us a nice good confirmation. That is where we are going to go for it. Lee is saying only trade gold in the early morning sessions. Okay. Agnes is asking, what about the FOMC meeting? I am not looking at that at the moment. I'm not covering that. Actually, wasn't aware there is. Let's just have a look quickly. Okay. I actually might have missed that. So there will be an FOMC meeting this evening. Look, it's going to be pretty big. I mean, the debt ceiling is going to be a fairly big topic. However, I just don't know if FOMC has much control over that debt ceiling, right? This is really political more than pretty much anything else. So thank you for reminding me there about that. Appreciate that. It will be interesting. I will cover it. Let's put it that way. If it's going to be live and it will be broadcast, I will cover it. Let's just see if there's anything explosive that comes out. The reality of the situation is the following, right, guys? They have to resolve the ceiling issue. Again, the US is too big to fail. There's too much at stake here. They need to reach some sort of decision, right? The issue here is either side of the fence is pushing for some sort of favorability on either side, but they will drag this out. Markets love this stuff. Investment banks love this stuff. All it's doing is creating volume and uncertainty, and we need to play towards that mindset. Right, in most of these cases, they reach a conclusion, as Alvin C4 just explained there. They'll play it out for time. They'll run this thing to minute 99, causing panic and volume in the market, which is not a bad thing for us, provided we just understand that we are playing a little bit of a bigger game in that particular case. Okay, so I'm going to pretty much hold my little bit of a gold short here. I'm going to just move my stop loss a little bit deeper into profit just in case. We have about a minute, let's say minute 50 seconds left, and my primary focus is going to be the following, right? Have a look at USD ZAR. I explained this morning, we had those inflation dates. The inflation came out under expectation, right? So somehow South African Rand is not having inflation, which blows my mind. I'd love to know who are the people that read those numbers, because everywhere else in the world, they have inflation. And yet we haven't even gone through the inflationary cycle yet, never mind disinflationary cycle. So another thing, key area to watch out if you're a ZAR trader, just have a look at this current structure over here, right? We've been in this long bull term. We've gone a little bit sideways. We've broken multiple supports / resistances. However, we are trending sideways, slightly bearish, right? My trigger for any sort of position here would be a long above 1930 or a short below 1912. So that might be a trade for you. It might be something you may want to watch. Completely up to you how you want to get that thing followed. Beautiful. Stilo saying in the group, beautiful. Lungs heard about someone talking about the HFM $50 bonus. Is it a bonus, or guys, it's a 100% tradable bonus, meaning you can trade it. If you lose it, you lose it. But if you trade that bonus, if you take $50 to $1,000, you can draw out $950, it's yours. So you're trading with real money. They're giving you $50 to get started in the markets, to get used to HFM, to get to know the company, the team, and everyone else behind it. Okay, now let's move into the action. Let's have a look at what we're going to be looking at. I generally like to resize my screens just so I can have everything on the same chart. I'm not going to be looking at gold, right? Because I didn't have time to resize my charts. I'm merely looking at US 30. If someone can keep eyes for me on US 100, I would really, really appreciate that. I'm just going to drop down to a smaller time frame here. Let's have a look here and let's see what we end up getting. Let's see, New York Stock Exchange is opening up. We're getting a little bit of a push towards that top side there. Let's have a look. We are a few seconds in. Let's see if we get any volume here. Again, we do have that triple bottom. We do need to pay attention to, but I'm mostly interested, where is our volume going to be this afternoon as we look at the US 30, right? We're still holding off that base. Now, I did look a little bit closer. If we end up seeing any sort of area to get past, what would we consider a buy here? And for me, a potential buy zone would be a cross above 33.65, 33.065, alternatively, ideally back into much deeper market structure. That's where we want to be. Okay, that is where we want to be. So let's just have a look at where we're going to be and let's see how we're going to push here. There does seem to be a little bit of volume towards the downside. I would like to see a deeper trigger here. Again, this is still looking at US 30 and markets may be indecisive. It is possible. Right, let's see. Gold still sitting sideways, not too much of a direction there. US 30 seems to be going closer to my entry point down below. I'd like to see US 30 break, right? I'd like to see US 30 break and at least make a test to the downside as we've seen in the past. And that at least allows for about 2,000 pips of profit. As we dip down, we'll look for potential reversals after we get that push through towards the downside. But I'm holding a gold short that is in profit. I'd like to see US 30 pop towards the downside, but we may need to stick around to see that materialize. So let's give it a quick look here. Yeah, Nasdaq is definitely melting up already. Let's just see, is there Nasdaq is melting. I wonder if this afternoon it shouldn't be Nasdaq that I should be having a look at. We've had this in the past, man. We've had this in the past where Nas is the one that decided to just completely implode. I'll pop a feeler trade on Nas. There we go. Nas is popping down a little bit. Moving up my stop loss. Let's just have a look here. Not all too much, but I'm going to move up my stop loss over there. Let's look at where US 30 is. Okay, US 30 is jumping around doing its thing. We're starting to see that volume. We're starting to see the panic in the market. There we go. US 30 nicely moving into a bit of profit there. I've already got that sell in place there. Also got that little bit of a sell there on Nas, but I still want to see this materialize to break down a little bit further. Now remember, we do have correlation when we look at gold and we look at indices, right? Indices and commodities are generally tied together. So if we see a strong push, further push on US 30, we could see the same thing happen on gold, or continuation on gold on the downside. So that's just something worthwhile just mentioning and just keeping an eye on. Okay, let's see there. US 30 is attempting to make the push, playing around a little bit. It's going to be choppy, guys. This afternoon is going to be choppy. I don't have anything solid I can say as an absolute prediction, but I would like to see a little bit of a fall here. We are getting a nice fall. We are getting a nice push. US 100 is kind of sitting sideways. I'm going to close up US 100. I'm going to hold my US 30 because I'm seeing a little bit of the volume is sitting there. And let's see what we got going on. Let's see what's cooking in the kitchen. Right, so gold has got a really nice solid push here, breaking the lower levels of support, which is absolutely brilliant. I saw I was in quite a few other different groups. Everyone was shouting buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. I just couldn't. I just saw too much volume towards the downside for a sell situation. Mackenzie's saying missed position on US 30. US 30 is going to be sitting sideways. So this is going to be 100% up to you guys now, whether you want to hold this thing out or you want to wait for 4 o'clock. Remember, our strategy also allows us to only take a position at 4 if this is going to be sideways. So if you want to sit this one out, you want to wait it out, if you want to watch what happens, wait for 4 o'clock, 110% okay. Completely happy if that's what you want to do and you want to wait it out. Okay, so I'm gonna close up my US 30 only for the reason that my gold is in good enough profit. Gold is running the way it should, and I'm gonna keep my gold position and rather manage my stop loss on gold to make that just look a little bit more attractive there. Gold is running at about 60, almost 70 pips. But I want to be a trooper. I want to stay in my US 30 trade. I'm going to stay in it. I'm going to reopen at the same place. I'm going to set a stop loss a little bit higher up here, and I'm going to stay in it with you guys. I'm going to stay in it. Let's see if the fear and the panic in the markets pays off. If it doesn't, we're looking at a slight push towards the top side. So I'm just going to stay in it. I'm going to leave my trades in there, and let's see what happens. Let's see if we can get our Trump this afternoon. But ideally, I'd like to just break this triple bottom. And if we do, we could see a nice substantial runner. We are breaking nice bottoms there. Not yet enough to bring out Trump. I'll bring out Trump on 32,975. 32,975 is where I will look to start smashing it. and maybe adding some volume. But until then, we've still got a good 25 minutes until we get into that 4 o'clock for any sort of potential reversals. Remember, as I've said, that 4 o'clock mark can also signify an increased volume in the direction we already are. So what we would ideally like to be in is a profitable position, stop loss in profit by the time we hit 4 o'clock. So if the continuation is in our favor, we get to rally that thing with zero risk. If it is a reversal, we are able to close our position, take the opposite position, and benefit there. Okay, so guys, guess what time it is? I guess you guys know what time it is. It is time to bring out Trump. We just smashed through that previous support there, moving very, very nice on US30. So you can close up some of your position there. We're running about 400 something odd pips there in profit. So close up one of those positions for a profit, and then go ahead and potentially just move your stop loss into profit on your secondary trade. There we go. Nice solid push there. We're running currently now 450 pips in profit towards that downside. We're still moving, baby. We're still moving, guys. Let's see the love. I want to see those likes. I want to see those shares. If you are in profit on US30 towards the downside, send me a screenshot. Let's have a look. We got Mr. Baloy in the house. What is happening? My dear brother, the main man at HFM, looking after us, making sure we get all these beautiful zero deposit bonuses. So nice big push towards the downside. We're in great profit there. Just having a look at gold. Gold is still pushing quite strong. I'm going to go and secure and just tighten up a little bit of my risk there. And what I usually do to tighten risk is I look at market structure, and I'm simply looking at where is the next best place from a structural perspective. You guys know that a really good tool is to use the VWAP, right? And just to make sure that can just also act as a dynamic support / resistance zone. So VWAP at the moment on gold is sitting at 1976. So that is where I'm going to place my stop loss. I know if I break VWAP and we start moving towards the top side, then that downside trade is dead. But again, this afternoon is all going to be about that fear, right? The fear of where the markets are going. And this is the crazy part, right? This is the part that absolutely blows my mind, is that the fear, what does it do? Let me show you. The fear, all the fear does is keeps the dollar strong, right? Which is absolutely mind-blowing, just next level crazy things right there, right? Guys, give me, let's see, give me 15 seconds. I just want to do a quick camera battery change, and I'll be back with you guys in a second. So let's do that quick intermission, and I'll see you guys in a second. How quick was that? Ninja change, black background, but I guess you guys want to get back to action. So let's just have a look there. That's the beautiful thing about the new studio. Super easy to set up. In the past, we had the beautiful Miss Marsha Bart back there running around, doing camera changes, doing all these crazy things for us. Well, now she gets to sit back in her beautiful gaming setup. You guys will see it one day, hopefully shortly, soon. She's looking very stylish there in her pink and white gaming setup. Big smile on her face. There's one happy lady, and I am one very, very happy gentleman. Okay, guys, enough about us, about the markets. Let's have a look here. Gold's still pushing nicely towards the downside. This is having a look at gold. US30, still beautiful push towards the downside. Let's bring out Trump one last time, guys. Take a screenshot for me with Trump on the screen, and then just go ahead and take a screenshot, put that next to your profits, and just say it only happens right here at DVDM markets. Guys, where else in the world can you tune in live, trade live, without any funny stories, without any dodgy signals? Right here, right? In any event, let's have a look there. So all I'm going to do here on the US30 is I'm literally just going to protect a little bit more of my trade here. Just going to move my stop loss a little bit closer into the profit side of things. And let's see, we're still going to wait for 4 o'clock, right? In normal cases, you know, we would jump out of it, so we'd be like, cheers, but we still want to look at, are we going to see that reversal? Will our strategy pay off? Will we be able to take advantage of a little bit of fear in the markets this afternoon? I'd love to know from you guys. Vote in the comments. Do you think we're going to see a reversal at 4, or do you think we're going to see a continuation? Do you think we're going to see that fear-based sell activity happen towards the downside? I'd love to know from you. My personal opinion, Well, let's see the votes and I'll tell you my personal opinion, right? Let's have a look here. The main goal for this afternoon is, can we hit 700, 800 pips per position? And we'll have a look there. Silo's saying, can I check a DM on Telegram? I will check my Telegram right now. You didn't DM me, so I don't know what I'm checking. Stilo V. Somebody's asking, is it the 10% top-up bonus? No, guys, it's a complete bonus, meaning they give you $50, right? You can't withdraw it. It's not your money. You can't take it home, but it is live money. So if you trade it and you make a profit, if you take $50, let's say you followed today's trades and you made $50, right? All of the trades that we took today, you could have taken. You could have taken that account from $50 to $150. You can withdraw the profit. The profit is yours. Right? How mind-blowing is that? I get a lot of questions about it, but that's what it's all about. Okay, Gwen saying bigger time frame retracement. Yeah, 100%. So remember, we were speaking about this from a US 30 perspective, that we could have been going through that triple bottom and potentially triggering, or at least targeting some bigger push throughs as we've seen in the past, right? This is US 30, right? We've had this monster bear move, that triple bottom that we've essentially started to fail this afternoon, but this is where all the fear-based trading is happening. So for me, I've got a secondary zone sitting right there, and I've got a bunch of pending orders, right? I've got a bunch of sell stops in that zone there, because if this thing hits the ceiling, right, let's say everybody gets together and says, hey, this is an absolute crisis, whatever the case may be. If this goes pear-shaped and US 30 falls, then who knows what we could see. I'm glad I got out of my US 100 position, or my NAS trade, because NAS is retracing towards the top side. NAS is not honoring the US 30 in terms of that fall. So we picked a good one today. We picked the US 30. I just want to zoom in really quickly. I just want to double check some trend lines here, just to make sure we're not in any sort of trouble. So what I would start to do is start to consider, right, that's looking like the market structure that would play out here. Consider taking some profit at 32932, right? That gives us a good 800 pips of profit. Good, great, happy times, and worth the while to go. Also, similarly speaking on US, on let's say gold, I just want to double check on gold on another time frame. Let's have a look here. I just want to open up gold quickly on a cleaner window. I've got a bunch of things I'm busy testing in the background, a bunch of things that I'm busy doing here. I just want to double check. Okay. There we go. Okay, so I just wanted to double check on gold that we didn't have any sort of directional bias over here, or any sort of major resistance levels. Now, the big thing about gold, and I just want to paint this picture for everybody just to keep a little bit more optimistic, right, is that over there, right? The fact that this gold sell is not to the end of days. It's not a gold sell that will happen till the end of times. This is a diagonal move. All gold has simply done is broke out, utilize this level of support, come down. I do think it can make a slightly deeper retest. You may want to consider taking some of your profits on gold if that's what you want to do. I'm going to potentially close out there a position on gold. That single gold position towards the downside was a 35% ROI on a very small account that I'm obviously still using to test. So nice, quick, simple, easy in, easy out. I just want you to have a look at this. Again, it looks like a symmetrical triangle formation, inverted, meaning higher highs, lower lows, right? And this ultimately will break out and give us true market direction. US City, nice strong push there. I think we did temporarily hit our 700 and something odd pips there. Let me just give it a look. I think we did almost, okay, almost did, right? The only thing that would stop me or let me get out of US 30 right now would be, should we start to see any sort of major turn towards the top side. So many of you guys are familiar with a scallop, right? And a scallop, a bearish scallop is often is essentially something that sort of starts to twist towards the top side and essentially starts to fall. Now again, a bullish scallop will be where markets have pushed down, make this flat lower bottom, then start to reverse towards the top side. So if I start to see a scallop, I will get out of this trade. However, that's the beauty of having stop loss, and that's the beauty of having a trailing stop. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up my stop loss with a trailing stop. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set up a 4,000 points trailing stop, right? And what this allows me to do is that as markets pull, right, it will drag my stop loss with. So at the moment, my stop loss is already in profit. As markets drag on my behalf, if you watch now and we get a decent push, right, you'll start to see, if you watch that stop loss very closely, I'm going to leave my cursor there. If you watch the stop loss very closely, you'll start to see as markets push past 4,000 points, it'll take my stop loss with it towards the downside. Let's give it a quick look. There we go. You see the stop loss busy moving? It moved just a smudge, but it's moving nevertheless. If we get a nice solid push, you'll see it'll grab it substantially. So there's my stop loss, just above that little blue line. I think everybody can see it. So if we get a nice substantial push, it'll drag my stop loss with it. And I'm pretty sure everybody is familiar with how a trailing stop works. So yeah, that should be good. Let's quickly give a check on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is starting to play ball, potentially starting to deal with this fear-based setup here. So let's just have a look from just a pure market structure perspective. Is NAS giving away any secrets? It may, or just as well. Right, NASDAQ may be giving away secrets. I also wanted to know, vote 1 for continuation, vote number 2 for reversal. Are we going to see a continuation towards the downside? Vote 1 if you believe we're going to see a continuation on gold, on NASDAQ, on US30 to the downside. Or vote number 2, do you think we're going to get a reversal? Okay, on my one camera, it still says pounds for breakfast. We're definitely in dollars for lunch. So let's see, Gawain saying number 2 for reversal, Mackenzie saying continuation, TJ continuation, Levite saying reversal, Lee saying continuation, Gab saying continuation, AS saying reversal, and Sween Boy saying reversal. Okay, Riaz saying continuation, Alverno saying reversal, Tumelo saying reversal, Agnes saying reversal. Okay guys, so you're paying attention to the strategy. So I see a lot of reversal potentials in the comments for that 4 o'clock move. Now again, right, we've seen the volume. If we start to get a decent break in volume, again, this is US30, should we start to get a decent break in this volume, reversal very well might be on the cards for this afternoon, right? So I think I'm going to mark out this little market structure like that. I'm going to make this a bit darker, maybe thicker, just for us to see. Okay, and I'm going to utilize that structure for a potential as a little bit of an early warning, if you will, of a potential reversal. But again, should we smash through that level, we have a continuation on our hands. And I hope you are in a US30 sell. I hope your stop loss is in profit. And let's see. Forex Grow saying definitely continued sell. Let's see, my family. Let's see. That's what it's all about. Trading is about doing these things live. Guys, we're getting that push. We're getting that push. We're getting that fear-based media push. But again, this could also be an overextension of the markets, right? Trying to take out anybody else that's looking to go towards the top side. Forex Grow saying German 30 is plummeting. I actually haven't looked. I will be 100% honest with you. I have not looked at German 30 in a very long time. Okay, so let's give German 30 a quick look. Let's do German 30 a quick look. Forex Grow, don't you want to pop a screenshot to me on Telegram? Tell me what you're seeing on German 30. Let's quickly have a look. Guys, I've got a German 40. Mr. Baloy, Tumi Baloy. I only have a German 40. Where's my German 30? Mr. Baloy? Mr. Baloy? Mr. Baloy, what's going on? Mr. Baloy. It's so nice. We have someone now we can blame for things and celebrate for things. It's absolutely amazing. Yo. Mrs. saying it should be there. Yeah, German 30s. Oh wait, sorry, that was a 1 hour time frame, but it's still taking a spanking. Doesn't matter which way you look at it. That was a 1 hour time frame. Took a nice spanking on the US market open. Right, nice big spanking. Yeah, nice big spanking. Guys, did we hit our 800 pips? It was time to bring out Trump. We'll bring out Trump one last time. I know you guys enjoy Trump and him doing his things, but we did hit our 800 pips per position. So if you had 3 positions in there, you know, my maths teacher said I was absolutely dwarf, but I do know that's 2,400 pips, I believe it is. If you guys got that in there, you should be smiling. I wonder what my maths teacher's name was. I must find that lady and just be like, look at me now. She was in high school. She was so bitter. She kicked me out of maths class for like a whole quarter. I had to sit outside the class. She wouldn't allow me in the class whatsoever. Look at me now, Mrs. Maths teacher. Anyways. Your pro fundamental. Oh goodness. Okay guys, all right, so let's look at it. We are a few minutes away. Let's have a look here. We are a few minutes away from 4 o'clock, so let's see. Right, there's a decent enough volume in here. Why is he always a fundamental teacher? That's horrible. What is wrong with that? I know that math thing. Okay, I'm sorry, Mrs. Maths teacher lady. Okay, good stuff. Right, I'm glad I got out of my gold position. We're getting a decent amount of retracement here. Right, so we might actually be in a position we could maybe capitalize on gold. Right, there's a few things we need met here in order for this trade to be valid. Let me get a clean gold chart because I don't like looking at that chart right there. Okay, guys, let's get serious. Let's talk about gold for a second. Okay, let's have a look here. Let's get serious. Okay, so there may be a trade opportunity for us on gold, but it's not going to give it to us very easily. We're going to have to search for this thing, right? Okay, another thing we can do, especially when you're trying to determine market bottom, is we might need to pull out the RSI. Really good trick, guys. RSI is super underrated. Let's have a look here. RSI didn't give us any clues here. So again, we look for a little bit of divergence or convergence rather on these market bottoms, right? If the RSI is making lower, if the trade or the price action is making those lower lows, we want to confirm, you know, what's happening there. So RSI is not giving us away any signals. Let's back it up a little bit. Let's just double check what other resistance / support levels we've got. We've definitely got a diagonal over there. We've definitely got some sort of fib retracement going on here. Let's have a look. So we hit that 88.2. We got the 78.6 just above our current position. Might act as dynamic support / resistance. So if we're able to maintain price over 1973.90, so $1,973 and $1,973.90. If we stick over that level by 4 o'clock, we could see a potential buy on gold. Please remind me of this because I may end up forgetting. However, if you're a little bit sketchy about that, if you're a little bit iffy about getting into you know, a breakout trade, then this will be the next best option, right? Should we get that little bit of a breakout and you're worried about getting caught in a sideways market, let me open this up and make this a little bit bigger for you. You worry about being caught out in a little bit of a sideways market, then the next best thing is we're going to see, for gold to be a valid buy entry, we needed to do 2 things: break out of this market formation, which it may do, but it can be caught, it can catch people into a bit of a sideways market. However, you want to wait for a golden trade here, excuse the pun. We would want to hit that 61.8 and we would want to get above that 61.8, and then we would want to see a continuation on the 61.8. So $1,976.12 is where we want to get to. So I'm going to put an alert there. If that pops off, I will then send off that trade opportunity. And let's have a look here. Let's see. Alvin 4C saying gold bounced off the 1 hour off of yesterday's trade open. Let's have a look here. Yes, you are 100% correct. gold has closed up that daily low, right? So very, very likely we could hit 1,976.15. That will be my buy trigger for gold. Let's give it a page on US30. US30 is absolutely dominating markets. My trailing stop is kicked in. I'm going to make this trailing stop a bit fatter. As markets move, what I tend to do is I tend to just adjust that trailing, modify trailing stop custom. So instead of being 4,000, I'll maybe change now to 6,000, which you guys know means 600 pips. So I drag it up here, and as markets move, in addition, it'll then cover my position right now. The only reason I'm doing this, right, so there's my trailing stop right there. The only reason I'm doing that is that if we get a continuation, I want to hold that continuation. I don't want to be taken out early. I don't want to be caught in any sort of sideways movements. And this is one of the biggest issues that traders make, right? Is that when they write quickly and they get scared and they close up their positions, right? If you write, hold, let your winners win. If you're wrong, you want to be wrong quickly. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that traders make. They make a bad trade. They hold on that trade until the end of time. My friend, if you hold on that trade, two things are going to either happen, right? Either you're going to blow your account, or Jesus will pop up and be like, my friend, it's time, game's over, time's done, right? So cut your losses, hold your wins, cut your losses, be done with it. Okay, super stuff. And two people always saying, Dane, it's now called German 40. It was changed since 2021 after adding a few more. Thank you, Mr. Baloy, for the update or the education. Apparently, everyone else calling it German 30 is old school, is still living in 2021. We thank you for the update, my dear brother. You're an absolute machine. Okay, good stuff. So where are we at? Are we going to potentially look at a gold reversal? Not yet. Gold's still going to take a little bit of convincing. No. Gold's not looking for any sort of convincing yet. Bitcoin doing some big things. Not the good big things, but the bad big things. Just having a look at a 4-hour time frame. We spoke about this morning. Now, yes, the keen eye among you may say, Dane, wow, that is a really dodgy support. And I 110% agree with you. I drew this just quick, just to double check, where do we have support / resistance. So to edit it, that's probably going to be the closest I would look at from a support perspective. So definitely keep an eye on what is happening on Bitcoin. Again, I spoke about we're looking for a proper breakout towards the top side. And I will keep monitoring this, right? I've got some alerts set up on a VPS that runs 24/7 that will email me should we change any of these directions. It's the way to go. Also, in addition, guys, if you're interested in getting a VPS, meaning a virtual private server where you can run your trading platform off of, where you can get your notifications, where you can get your emails, please hit us up, let us know. The team is busy with some amazing solutions for those of you who are traders and just want to take your trading to the next level and you never want to be offline, i.e. load shedding, right? Also, if you need some assistance when it comes to load shedding, guys, I finally found an inverter that is just absolutely amazing. The studio is running full lights, full everything, and I think we are in load. I think we're still in load shedding. We've been in load shedding for I don't know how long, but we can stream until whatever, December, no problem. Okay, guys, listen, 1 minute away from 4. I'm going to do a quick intermission once again. This time I'm actually going to change a battery, right? Which may take longer than 15 seconds. So let's do a 45-second intermission. I will see you guys in 45, quick battery change, and then let's see where we get that direction. Vote. Are we continuing down or are we reversing? Let me know. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Ninja. Okay, let's give it a quick look. Okay, for a potential reversal, I'm going to draw out that structure right there. We're definitely getting signs that she's holding up there. Let's quickly give a look at gold, what gold's up to. ZAR didn't break support, so ZAR is sitting in a range. ZAR has got zero idea what it wants to be doing, which is fine with us. No issues. Gold is shooting through the floor. US30 might fall through the floor too. Gold is absolutely failing through to the downside. Big volume on gold towards the downside. Massive volume on gold towards the downside. US30 playing here. I don't know if we're going to see a reversal. US 100, what's US 100 doing? Heinz saying he opened up the free $50 account. Well done. Go smash it up. Go make some money right there. ZAR sitting sideways. Euro USD not even looking at. Gold is absolutely getting smashed towards the downside. I'm kind of feeling a little bit bad. I didn't keep my gold trade open at this point. US30, let's see. Let's give it 5 minutes. Again, if you're in that sell, then you are smiling regardless. But I would like to see, is it possible, guys? We already hit 1,000 pips on US30. Forex Grow saying this is still the best live trading stream ever. Well done, Dan and Marsha and Baloy. Guys, listen, I appreciate that. But listen, the reason why the stream is enjoyable is because of every single one of you. The community, when you guys chat, when you send us inboxes, when you send us requests, when you comment about the show, how you want to change, this is how we change things to make these things. Guys, listen, you may see under 100 viewers today, but let me tell you something. In a little time to come, there will be a point at which there'll be thousands of people in our community, not our community, not my community, not Marsha's community, but as a whole, right? We want to be the biggest trading community in Africa, and it will come to pass. Mark my words, screenshots, save the video, do what you want to do. It will come to pass. I can guarantee you. People can try sue us. People can try do all these crazy things. It will never come to pass, right? Okay, let's have a look here. Guys, we just smashed 1,000 pips. We got that little bit of a continuation towards the downside. So if you are in your US30 position, then all I can say is it's time to bring back Mr. Trump to do his dance. Guys, we smashed out 1,000 pips. If you got more than one position here, then you're talking about 1,000 pips times multiple positions. And I'm pretty much just going to hold that, right? I'm super happy with that. In terms of reversal, let's see what ends up happening, right? Again, if you're utilizing a 6,000 points trailing stop or 5,000 point trailing stop, then your trailing stop should be in around about 460, 450 pips of profit. You can go ahead and close some of that up if you wish, but it's up to you. Completely up to you. I wonder if I can't. Yeah. Alverna could say he's still running his NAS sells. So everybody who voted 1 on the continuation, well done. Absolutely getting smashed. NAS falling to the downside. So definitely fear-based, guys. Definitely fear-based. And now remember, if we're able, look at gold. Gold is absolutely getting decimated. I saw there was chats in groups of people saying buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. Man, again, right? If you don't understand the correlation of the stock market, of indices, of the dollar relation and what's happening in the world, man, you're flying blind, right? And that is the importance of, you know, we speak about this a lot, that, you know, price action being king, great, you know, and we don't pay all too much attention to some of the fundamentals from a news and sentimental perspective. But you've got to understand it, guys. It's got to be a part of your trading game. It mustn't be 90%. It shouldn't even be 10%. It's probably about 5%. But you got to understand what's happening everywhere else in the world to make sense of where you are as a trader. Guys, listen. US30, if we hit, let's have a look here, 1,200 pips, which is just there below this current position. If we hit that, we're going to call it a day. We're going to say shalom. We're going to say we love you. We're going to say best of luck trading for balance today. And I will see you guys at 8 o'clock tonight for that FOMC meeting. I'll stream it live. We'll do comments. There we go. We hit our 1,200 pips. We're still rocketing towards the downside. You know the drill. Trump out one last time. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure as always. Thank you for the time. As always, remember to smash that like and subscribe button. And go ahead and do something even better. Go share this video with somebody else out there and say trading is possible. All you need is the right partner. All you need is the right channel. All you need is the right broker. That's all that's happening. It's all happening right here. Links down in the description. Go jump in, open up your account. Guys, if you want to know, broker number 1 is HFM. If you want to know broker number 2, it's Trade 245. Go smash the links, go open up those accounts. $50 they will give you. You can trade with it, you can do what you want with it. You just can't withdraw it, but you can make a profit. And I've already seen some clients that have that bonus that are in profit. They've made a couple $1,000 off that bonus. So just a massive thank you to everybody else is in the house. So everybody votes number 1. You guys are right. Continuation was part of the game. I will see you guys at 8 p.m. this evening. Make sure you've got your accounts funded. Again, this will be a premium plus event. So this will only be for funded accounts. Make sure you get your accounts open, get it funded. I'll see you at 8 p.m. We'll cover the FOMC. We'll trade it live. We'll have some fun as always. Much love. Until I see you guys a little bit later. Goodbye.